listening to Frank Skinner's podcast from Absolute Radio.
This is Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio with Emily Dean and Alan Cochrane. You can text us on 81215. You can follow the show on Twitter at Frank on the Radio, or you can email the show via the Absolute Radio website. That's good.
Morning. I like that. It's nice. Morning.
Morning, boys. You boys are looking so smart today. Both got suits.
In it?
Yeah, well, you know, the leaves are falling.
I've got my powder blue coat because it's London Fashion Week.
Frank feels a bit like he's sort of very in tune with the weather today. It feels like he's really noticed autumn. Do you know what I mean?
I was walking to my art class on Monday night and a conker landed not 6 feet from me. And I thought, it is autumn.
Yeah.
What about that? You can quote me on that.
Well, it sounds like it's already an entry in Samuel Johnson's diary.
Exactly. The first conker.
How was your art class?
Not bad. We had a life modelling this week. Kept his pants on.
Oh.
Strangest conversation ever.
I like that.
Do you?
Yes.
Do they keep the pants on these days?
Happy. There's plenty of work with the legs and stuff. You don't want...
Yeah. I get you.
You can't do a serious drawing of the gentleman's excuse me.
Oh. You say that. You haven't seen my etchings.
Well, not yet. I went to see your etchings at a cosy little flat. Yes. Anyway, so I went to Aladdin, by the way, last week. Speaking of
after last week's show, you were very excited about it.
I was.
I was so jealous, Al, because it's one of my favourite. I don't think Frank knew what an Aladdin fan I was.
No, I hadn't quite realised what a big hit the movie had been. Because I didn't watch sort of children's films then. It didn't bother Emily. She had it on in the car soundtrack.
I know, but I just liked it. I've always loved Disney movies.
Arabian Night. Yes, it was very
Whole
fun.
New World, that's in there as well, isn't it?
It is. Well done.
Yeah. I sung it to Buzz at brunch beforehand to get him in the mood. And I think he liked it, but then when I said, "Don't you dare close your eyes," which is one of my favourite lines, it's a bit aggressive though, he got a little worried, I think.
Thought he'd been told.
Yes, you were throwing salt in his face at the time.
Picked it up from his great-granddad.
Indeed. But I've always said you can't beat a flying carpet because it won't stay on the clothesline.
Oh, yeah.
And the flying carpet was brilliant.
Was it?
I mean, it was flying.
Yeah.
That's good.
You couldn't see it. I couldn't see a string. I couldn't see...
Were you squinting looking for them? Like, is that what you were doing? That's what I would have been doing.
When you
I
see
would have been
any
looking
kind of
how do they
effect
do
ever,
that?
yeah. I thought there would be a big arm, a big mechanical arm. There might be some East European men in black polo neck sweaters.
Reebok trainers now.
And gloves.
Do you remember when the Superman films were out? This is a long time. When it
Christopher Reeve era, yeah.
And they said you cannot see a seam on the Superman costume. Like, whenever he's in it, you cannot see a seam. And I'm pretty sure lots of people went to the film and did that squinting thing going, there must be a seam. And apparently you can't see a seam in any shot.
He filled it beautifully.
It never bothered me. I used to watch... When Stingray came out of the water...
Oh, raise the bar, why don't you? Stingray.
There used to be droplets on the strings. Droplets of water. Who cares? I don't care about that. But I couldn't work out the fly. And I'll tell you something now about that, is that the abdomens of some of the best abdomens I've ever seen.
Of Aladdin?
Oh.
No, well, it was...
on the actors?
Yeah.
I thought we were still on Stingray.
And actresses.
Frank, can I ask you a question? Was there a lot of... Yeah, because I think there's a lot of makeup. It's quite strictly in that sense, isn't it?
Yeah, there's a lot of... You know, because it's set in a sort of one of them palace things.
Did you just go into a trance-like state about abdomens?
I was just thinking... when you said...
Sort of left us for a moment.
Well, when you said, do you mean on the actors? When I'm thinking of the abdomens, they were all on female actors.
Oh, were they?
Were they 8-packs?
But I think you can talk about... do women have 8-packs
it's called
rather
8-packs
than 6-packs?
now. Yeah, 8-packs.
No, I mean, it's some of the best abdomens I've ever seen in the West End. This is why I'm not a reviewer.
Yes,
you couldn't have that
terrible
outside
right 5 stars.
Yeah, the best abdomens in town, The Guardian.
Michael Billington.
Because The Guardian would probably say that do a big write-up about the illegal imprisonment of genies. No, it was really when you see the human abdomen. I always think of Sunita, who had one of the great abdomens.
Yeah.
I do think, well, you couldn't put salt in your navel and dip a hard-boiled egg in it because there's nowhere to really settle for salt. Do you know what I mean?
So did it impact on you in any other way other than the abdomens?
Yes.
Did you notice anything other aspect to it?
I was very impressed by the Cave of Wonders.
So I've heard, but what was the musical actually
That
like?
was my farewell speech to a lot of women on tour. For goodness.
Absolute Radio.
Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio.
No, it was the Cave of Wonders was, you know, that's the bit where they get the lamp and all that. It was, it was golden and sparkling.
What about the magic carpet ride?
Excellent.
Okay.
Genie, top notch. The actual.
You sound like a football manager going to see a show.
Yeah, that's good.
Excellent.
It did make me think, though. You know what they say? All that glisters is not gold.
Is that what they say?
That is what they say. Yeah.
Not glisters.
No, I think that's. I think people have. I think it's glisters.
Glisters.
Yeah.
I think he might be right. I think glitter might be one of the millennials. Apologies to all those in
No,
this
I
room.
thought glistens. Does that make me non-millennial and
we've gone on.
right?
What was the thing that
Think
we
and
argued
thing
about the other
coming.
week? Yeah, another think coming.
Well, I
if you
saw it in
think
a
it's
book.
glistens, you've got another thing.
All that glitters. No, it's not glitters, Al. It's not, Frank.
No, he thinks it's glistens.
No, you think it's glistens.
We should glisten more carefully.
Very good. I mean, that is good.
No, I think it's glisters, as in blisters.
Oh, okay.
Anyway,
Okay.
I believe it's Shakespeare.
Right, okay.
Him. That guy.
Anyway,
Heard of him.
but I did it. So it was great, and Buzz loved it and stuff. But I did
Oh, good.
find myself thinking the 3 wishes thing.
Yes.
Too many.
Well, no, it's just if it would actually
What does
be.
he wish, Aladdin? No spoiler alert, but what does he wish?
He wishes
He'll waste one an eternal life.
to
or
be a
something.
prince is one of them.
Oh, to be a prince.
So that he
Come
can
on.
obviously marry princess, etc. But also, he promises the genie the last wish so he can wish for his freedom.
Oh.
It's a very socialist message.
Right. But that immediately puts him down to 2 real
It
wishes,
does,
doesn't
but
it?
the truth is...
lost a third
I
of
know
his
you
wish.
think, I
I
know
would-
you think of it like
I would
that.
genuinely give Frank one of my wishes.
You
That
wouldn't.
is nice, but
no,
he's
as a
got a
thank
lot
you
of
for your
things already.
friendship.
Oh,
I would.
that's... But see, if you've got friends, you don't need wishes.
Oh, yeah.
That's why I'd have all 3. No, but it's actually really tricky. I mean, you can say, you know, just get them out the way and just say banana armour. But
Atomic hit now. Maybe you could go for.
Maybe, yeah.
But the way it would be is, I think, you'd have your 3 wishes, and how long before you were doing something else and you thought, oh, I know what I should have had.
Yeah.
It would drive you mad for the
I
rest
know.
of your life.
So true.
Yeah.
Also, they'd change.
They do change, don't they? What you want changes, doesn't it? Year on year,
Yeah,
even.
totally.
Like, not long ago on this show, I think I mentioned that we currently don't have a garlic crush. You know, a presser.
Oh, you can't waste it on that, Al.
But back in the day, I've had them. So I don't need it now, but there was a time in my life where I might have really wanted one of those.
Well,
You
I
can't
would
waste a wish on
once wished for a driver. That was my greatest wish. I know that's quite shallow, but that,
No,
I
it's
thought
okay.
that would be utterly life-changing. The time spent travelling, and now I like a walk.
And
I've
you
got
like
my
to drive.
Fitbit.
You're a motoring
Not just that,
correspondent.
I like to
Yeah.
drive, and also I don't want to turn into some fat cat, isolated from society.
But that would be an interesting angle on the motoring correspondent if it wasn't you driving. If you're sitting in the back and you're just a real... It could be called the backseat driver.
Oh, that'd be
And
good.
you're talking about
I
the
think that's
car.
brilliant.
The car
Yeah.
and stuff, but also criticising the person that's driving.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
I love that
Hang
idea.
on, let's hatch
With
a
you
plan.
constantly peering round the headrest going, oh, watch it. Oh,
Who can we pitch this to? Let's talk during the next song.
BBC's got a gap.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Absolute Radio.
Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio.
I'm too busy with backseat driving, my new
That is
motoring
a
column.
great idea.
Thanks
I
for
really
that,
think
Frank.
we should get some people onto that.
Yeah, because also you can do better. You know, you can, when you're not driving yourself, you can talk more about it. I mean, it's a different experience. We all get
Yeah.
driven all the time,
Yeah.
don't we? People get in cabs and
Yeah.
Ubers.
Oh,
They
don't
do.
say that word.
Oh yeah, as soon as you say Uber, some people complain.
What?
They'll say, Uber.
Yeah.
That sort of thing.
Well,
Yeah?
I agree with that, whatever it means.
That's what we'll get.
I always assume they're just waiting for one when they say that.
No, I don't
No.
think so.
Anyway, if
We love a London black cab.
what about this? This is like a proper radio phoning. What would your wish be?
Oh.
Hey?
Out of the three, if you
12, 15. We don't want to hear 3 wishes. We don't
no,
care that
out of
much.
the 3. That's just
But one
I don't want to hear all
decent-
3,
straight to the
Frank.
biggie, yeah.
Just one novelty wish.
It's going to be a difficult day for 937, who's texted saying, my actual name is Jeannie. Funny
Oh.
parents. Well, we're probably going to talk about genies for a while now if we're doing wishes, aren't we?
Is it a lady, Jeannie?
I don't
do
know.
you
Are
think?
you a lady?
How's it
937
spelled?
Genie.
I-E.
Actually
Yeah.
spelt like that.
My actual name is Jeannie.
Yeah, but Al, I'm not sure you can go around now just shouting, "Are you a lady?" at people.
Really?
I
I bet I shout it 3 times between here and
I
brunch.
should just say I don't go
Those are your
around.
3
I'm just
wishes
doing
gone.
it now in a broadcasting to the nation
Can you
context.
still sing "Dude Looks Like a Lady"? Is that all?
No.
That's gone.
Oh,
Oh dear,
No, no.
I'm so out of touch.
yeah.
It's terrible. I don't know what to say next.
I'd probably go.
Where would you go, Al?
I'd probably go bigger nose. I've always felt like I could cope with a slightly bigger nose.
Really?
That's
I've
not
got
a
a big
wish.
face,
You
and
haven't
I'm
got
quite
a
a
big
tall
face.
bloke. But
You're a tall bloke.
I've got a tiny nose.
That's not a wish. That's access to my contacts book.
Oh no, I'm not prepared for surgery. I want the genie to sort it, pain free.
That'd be a rubbish.
That'd be rubbish.
Well, the trouble is, what about if he says okay, then ping, your glasses fall off, break?
I think it's a waste of a wish.
You think so?
Don't you?
Yeah, but I
Well, let
think
me do
every
what I
wish,
want with
every
my
wish
wishes,
is a
yeah.
waste of a wish.
No, because I'd wish for something you couldn't buy. So I know I said my driver.
Oh, I'm still thinking about it.
No, I know I said my driver, but I'd wish for something else. I'd wish for something like a selective amnesia.
Oh.
But that's quite handy, isn't it? There are some things you'd rather erase.
I'm already
can buy that.
developing my own selective amnesia. This is a true thing. I lay in bed last night
Yeah.
thinking, have we got a front gate?
Oh, no, you haven't.
We haven't.
No.
I would have checked this morning, but I forgot to check as well. I was thinking, I didn't think we'd got one, but I couldn't put my hand on my heart and say we have not got a front gate.
Yeah.
Do you think that's just selective amnesia, or that you've got that many properties that you just
Oh, yes, slum
I thought I
landlord.
must have a front gate somewhere.
Well, you will have,
No,
Frank.
but what a thing to forget, whether I've got a front gate or not.
yeah.
I mean, I walk through it. Well, I don't walk through it because we haven't got one.
Yeah, you don't walk through it every day.
Oh, have you got a front gate? 8, 12, 15.
Oh, by the way,
Yes.
it's definitely glisters. We've got a text from Clint
Yeah.
from Crawley that
I believe
says
I said.
it's definitely glisters. I've seen it in books more than once. Says
Literary
Clint.
man.
Well, we
Yeah,
know specifically what book it is because Poppy said Frank is right. The original quote is from The Merchant of Venice.
There you
Blisters.
There you
Excellent.
go. Love it. Loving it. Loving it. The Merchant of Venice. Shakespeare there. What a guy. Here on Absolute Radio. Where real music glisters.
Frank
Skinner.
on Absolute Radio.
Absolute Radio.
We've all said it.
And we're running the, I would say, innovative texting. What would you wish for if you met the genie, innit? That's what
Yeah.
you wanted. 8,
Yeah.
12, 15. Frank, why not wish for a gate? From Chris in Nuneaton.
Could wish for a gate.
If you haven't got
a
one.
gate.
Yeah.
Is that another part of the thing that
one thing I would say I find with a gate-
Yeah.
It's additional maintenance, Al.
What's
Oh,
the
yeah.
point of them, though? They don't keep people out, do they?
And
don't,
they
you're
swing in
right.
the storm, I find.
Yeah.
They do. Yeah. So there you go, Chris in Nuneaton. It turns out he doesn't really
was
want...
that the wind blowing, or the creaking of the gate, or Ernie's ghostly gold tops are rattling in their crate?
Is this Pam Ayres? It sounded a bit like Pam Ayres, didn't it?
It was Ernie, the fastest milkman in the West.
Oh.
Remember?
We've had a traditional joke sent.
Oh,
Trad,
Yes.
old school joke. What kind of pet did Aladdin have? A flying car pet.
Okay.
What is a car pet?
Well, it's...
Be one of those dogs with a nodding...
Oh, okay. I'm not sure I'm having that, because it doesn't actually make sense.
It does, doesn't it? It's a pet.
No.
It's like when...
But a car isn't a pet.
No, a car pet.
Yeah.
What kind of pet?
I understand it, I just don't think it works.
I think you're being too harsh. Sometimes with a joke, you just have to luxuriate.
Yeah, just...
Ollie
through it.
in Salford says one of my wishes would be for more Al Addin on the show.
Ah, that was when
When you used to do maths.
I performed mental arithmetic for the nation.
Yeah, there isn't enough of that.
There is a definite glass ceiling on my mental arithmetic ability, though, so I think we may have ran that one dry. After being a reader since the very start of the show, my geeky superfan wish would be to join you three for brunch on Saturday to talk about other radio presenters and definitely not discuss food. I could do that with my normal friends.
Hey,
That's
good research.
Like that.
That's nice.
Who's that from?
No, that's from Mash in Battersea.
MASH.
We're not meant to talk about food, but he's called Mash. That's going to be tricky,
It's going to be really tricky.
isn't it?
And also we'll keep going, suicide is painless.
004 has texted.
People live in the present, I find out a lot. Ian Martin, right now my wish would be to own an umbrella or coat so I could leave the flat.
Maybe that's the best way to do it,
Yeah,
though,
maybe.
is to just do quick random wishes and get it out of the way. I think it's a terrible burden, the 3 wishes.
Yeah.
I'd say to the genie, you know what, mate, you're all right. When I interviewed Ringo Starr, one of the research team went up to him and said, look, I never ask anyone for a photograph, but I'd read. He went, no, you're all right, and just walked past. As if he was doing him a favour.
This is
Frank Skinner, Absolute Radio.
Somebody has suggested on the text in that you wish for a TARDIS, Frank, you fool. They've added.
Wish for a TARDIS, that'd be brilliant. Then you could travel, obviously, through time and space.
Oh, that'd save you topping up your Oyster card, wouldn't it, for a start?
Yeah, and we also had someone rather lovely saying, I wish that Frank returns to play Engineer Perkins in a follow-up Doctor Who episode. Isn't that nice?
I dreamt.
Got your crowd.
That's broken my dream, as they say. I dreamt last night. I was talking to the people at Stephen Moffat mainly at Doctor Who.
You dreamt this,
yeah, and they said they were doing a revival of the Orient Express thing, but I was the only character that wasn't returning. That was the dream I had last night.
Oh, how did the dinner end? Not well.
I don't think it was a dinner. I think he'd found me in his garden.
In the dream, did you have management, like, that could step in and go, no,
No, I never include management in the dreams. I don't know how we'd work out the percentage.
We've had another text in from 799 saying, hi Frank, M&L, my wish is something that I think Frank will appreciate, and it's the ability to always find a good car parking space near my destination.
That would be brilliant, though.
Yeah.
Because no matter where you were going, even if you were going to, like, an enormous, like the Queen's 90th anniversary something, you could just, I'll drive.
I love Frank's idea of a hot ticket.
I'm thinking
Says a lot.
I'm thinking of places where you think, I'll never be able to park there. I mean, you could drive to the FA Cup final knowing you were going to get a parking space
You
nearby.
say that. Some people have the parking confidence. David Baddiel, I mean, I say famously between the two of us, I always laugh at him about this because he drives to things like the BAFTAs.
I know, and parks.
And he gets the space.
No, people
He
do.
has the confidence and it wins out.
But they don't
Respect.
mind. They don't mind a bit of a walk. See, if I'm not going to park nearby... I was at the Rah-Rah Club in Piccadilly Circus with Anton de Beek
Good story.
recently.
Best opening ever.
Excellent.
And
So many chapters to your
he said,
anecdote.
he said, I'm parked in Covent Garden. So he's a man who likes the feel of stitched leather against his palms, clearly.
Yeah.
But he'd parked in Covent Garden, which is like a 15-minute walk.
Oh, I'll do that often, Frank. Yeah.
Nice,
that's
you
fine.
people.
Well, you say that you used to park in Colindale when you first moved to London because you
No,
didn't
that's-
think you
that's-
could drive into central London.
No, I didn't think that was allowed.
He didn't.
I thought I'd end up, my car would be upside down and on fire. I'd be surrounded by urchins. That's what I thought would happen.
Well, I think 799 has hit the nail on the head, though. A good car parking space. That's probably the best wish we've had so far.
It is.
Definitely better than me wishing for a slightly bigger nose.
Also, sorry,
It's the
Frank.
gift that keeps on giving, isn't it? Because it's not like it just happens. It's going to be there forever. Just to drive through the crowds.
You love
knowing.
this, Kev.
It's brilliant.
With my driver, I'm not going to need this. But anyway,
No, exactly.
the
Can
point
we
i-
also call a moratorium on text as
We
such
can. I
as
don't have the number, but we can.
455.
118.
Hi, Frank. Make 2 wishes, then wish for 3 more wishes.
No, I don't think you can do that.
I don't think there's got to be.
Oh, we
a
got
limit.
another one saying, I wish for limitless wishes.
No, but the
Yeah.
genie has terms and conditions.
Oh,
Has he
T's
got
and C's.
T's?
He reads them off really quickly.
Really quick.
I couldn't repeat it. You come back and make anyone love you or repeat it. He doesn't. He doesn't do that. But it'd be quite funny if he did, actually.
Actually,
If they're
they should
listening,
put
the
that
people
in.
from the show, you can have that.
That is a good idea.
But he does say things like, you can't make someone fall in love with you, for example. That's one of the wishes.
All right, that seems like a good way to do it.
Yeah.
Never heard of alcohol.
Or money.
Yeah. What else makes people fall in love with you? 8, 12, 15.
This is
Frank Skinner, Absolute Radio.
Oh, I'll tell you where I went pre-Aladdin, by the way.
Where?
Pre-Aladdin.
Well, I'm
Pre-Aladdin.
asking. I think I know this, don't I? Because I was with you.
Pre-Aladdin. We
Oh, yeah.
went to... Oh, of course. We went to the M&M's shop. You ever been there?
It's not themed around the
Not M&M,
popular
as in-
hip-hop
My
star,
name is
Eminem.
not him.
No, it's the sweets, isn't it?
Yeah, well, I say shop. I'd say it's a superstore. Wouldn't be an exaggeration.
I'd
I'm
say
gonna
it's a
be honest,
world.
it's
Eminem's world, I think it is.
always puzzled me that having that prime bit of real estate.
I want to say to people
it
outside
smells
London,
sweet.
this is in like Leicester Square, absolute prime spot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although
Well,
I've
it's
always,
all
I've
over the
always found
world.
it a bit. I mean, it's not literally low rent,
Well,
but it is a bit low rent.
It's a bit Paul Raymond.
I mean, Leicester Square
God
in
rest his
general.
soul.
But I don't know, if I was the person who'd invented Smarties, I'd stand outside the M&M shop and think, where did I go wrong?
Yeah.
Why are M&M's got their own shop and Smarties barely got their own tube?
I don't even think it's the best one for the
But
shop.
which were first? Were Smarties first?
Yeah.
There ought to be a court case. Surely someone's noticed they are quite similar
Case.
in their nature.
Have
Yeah.
M&M's got anything in them, or are they just like chocolate?
Yeah,
They're just
chocolate.
chocolate discs.
You can get peanut
Chocolate disc covered in that, whatever that's... You
so
know,
they're
that
not
sort of
all
enamel.
peanut. They're not-
with the M on them, and you can get peanut M&Ms, Al.
Yeah, that's the ones that I'm aware of.
No,
the
but it's
peanut
basically...
ones.
It's chocolate that's been enamelled.
Right,
That's the
yeah,
general
yeah.
Yeah.
sense of it. But Smarties, I cannot... They're the same sweet.
I
Very
prefer
similar.
Smarties, personally.
One's got a
Me
big
too.
shop.
Yeah.
Are the smarty people just...
That might be the problem.
Are they
What?
getting on with the job rather than going...
What,
"Let's
making the
show
sweets?
off."
No, I think one of the problems is the M&M's have
It's a
got...
show-off shop,
But
isn't
Alan's
it?
just accused them of being show-offs, the people who make M&Ms.
It's like a big show-off shop, isn't it? It's like, yeah, we're doing that well. We've got
Have you been
this
in there?
corner of
Because
Leicester Square.
it was extraordinary, wasn't it?
But you can't imagine a Bounty superstore.
No, I don't understand. I
I'll
can't imagine
tell
any
you what I'd
confectionery.
like.
Double-decker.
Come on, flake, all twigs and gnarled old branches.
nice.
Yeah.
Like,
That
like a
sounds
forest
good.
of flakes.
They could have they could be served like by like stick insects serving
sounds
behind
all right.
the.
Well, no, the 70s lady in the floppy hat. Oh, come on.
Couldn't get away with that. No, but
He's having a moment.
I'm having a moment.
I think part of it is because there's a figure, there's a sort of a character involved with M&M's in
You're
the way
right.
there isn't with Smarties.
Is the character essentially two arms with white gloves? I wouldn't say
Yeah.
that's a character.
And an
They've
M&M.
taken
Shove a couple
they've
of gloves.
taken the sweet and given it life.
Well-
Smarties, they're just get them out there.
They've sort of merged the M&M and Mr. Potato Head, haven't they? That's really what they've
There's no
done.
like Smarty Pants, the Smarties man, that I know of. If there's ever been an anthropomorphic version of a Smartie, let us know on 8, 12, 15. I know everyone does this phone in, but you know, sometimes. I'm going to get to the bottom of this. Why do they get a shop and Smarties don't? It's a scandal.
Absolute Radio.
Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio.
This is Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio with Emily Dean and Alan Cochrane. You can text us on 81215. Follow the show on Twitter at Frank on the Radio. Email the show via the Absolute Radio Webby.
We've got all sorts going on this morning. People's three
All
wishes.
sorts.
Oh.
They could have a shop because
They
they've
could.
got
a figure.
Bertie Bassett.
Now,
got a
also,
guy.
I see that with a lot of modernist furniture. I think that could work well with the all sorts.
Yes.
Yeah, you could have.
That would be a shop.
Those poof things they used to have in homes in the
Steady on.
70s. You could have that based on, the jelly one with the little hundreds and thousands on it.
Oh, I know
Yeah.
it well. Blue and pink, my friend.
Oh, I'd happily put my feet up on one of those.
I don't think I've ever eaten one of those.
They're my favourites.
I feared them.
I've always felt bad they're my
my
favourites as they're not actually licorice based.
They're nice, though.
And I don't like the solid tube of licorice.
Oh, I do.
Well, you know what? My favourite is the cerise. The cerise all sort with the black centre.
You know what it sounds like, guys? It sounds like we
Oh,
could
yeah.
happily share a bag.
You know what I'm feeling coming on?
We
A
all
bit
like
of an
different-
all sorts party.
We all like different ones.
No, you know what? There's an element of the Spratt family about this. Yep, we would lick the all sort platter clean.
Yeah.
But why not have a licorice all sort shop? It's British.
I don't know why we don't.
You know, this is
Set
the
it
age
frank.
of Brexit. We shouldn't have M&Ms. We should have Bertie Bassett. Also, I think, if I remember rightly, Bertie Bassett has a walking stick.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know,
Does
it's
he?
so that's always a
Kind
good,
to the
it's a
elderly.
good thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about Revels? Just a load of surprises. Never know what's round any
Yeah,
corner.
but there's no Mr. Revel.
Oh, yeah, you're right,
There's
Frank.
no
You're
old
so
man.
right.
I know a few Mr. Revels.
Nick Revel.
Nick Revel?
They could have Nick Revel, the comedian.
Yes.
I don't know
could.
if he'd lend himself to a backpack.
Maybe not.
Now, you've also, in talking about the three wishes, Michael says one of his wishes would be to visit the New Forest Reptile Museum, which
Yes.
you were unable to find.
I imagine there'll be parking nearby because no one's ever
Yeah.
found it.
Excellent listening, though. He's managed to merge two stories.
Now
with,
that is good. That's
stuff.
is good stuff. That's fusion. That's Absolute Radio Fusion, which is will never happen as a channel.
And then we've had a review of M&M World. A lot of other people have found themselves wandering in there. Ali says M&M World works. No
It
idea
works.
why, but I've been sucked in. £100 worth of cushions.
Wow! But I didn't think people went there to do their soft furnishing.
Well, in fairness, Ali, I don't think most people do.
Who thinks, you know what, I've just bought this new place, I'm going to the M&M shop to...
Get a coffee table. not heels.
it would just be a big M&M with 4 little sticks on the bottom of it.
I like the idea of someone making a Pinterest board based on, I've got some ideas. I'll get a mood board together for the interior designers. Mainly yellow and a bit of brown.
But once you've got your giant M&M coffee table and people say, there you go, there's your coffee. Oh, don't put it on the slope. Go central. If you're going to go slope, it needs to have a bit of stickiness to it. You're all right with a lemon drizzle, bit of lemon drizzle on the side, but the hot stuff needs to go at the apex of the curvature.
Oh, Frank, what about when I gave Buzz £1? He put it in the machine. This is a great thing that happens at M&M World.
Oh, yeah?
I gave him £1.
Is it called World? Has someone
Yeah.
added that?
No, it is called World.
So it's like it's supposed to be a theme park.
Yes. I gave Buzz £1, and there's a great game at M&M World where you give a child £1, they put it in the machine, they get a penny back.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, it's all gone a bit Brexit
And
in
also
there.
a squashed penny that you can't...
Yeah.
It's one of those when it
Oh.
stamps it into a
I see.
shape.
I mean, Buzz was happy.
I couldn't see what on earth it was. It was some sort of vintage car. I'm assuming it had 2 M&Ms driving it.
Yeah.
Well, I was desperately searching for a reference point in there, and so I found fashion, which always anchors me. And I saw a little baseball cap, which I tried on. M&M World...
But that actually looked all right.
That would be great. If you started to wear an M&M baseball cap, that would be a turn up for the books.
It looked much better than the jacket I tried on with the coconut mushroom epaulets.
Absolute Radio.
Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio.
We've got various
Yeah?
theories about the M&M shop.
Okay.
And one of them from 344 is, I think there were 2 brothers named Mark and Matthew, brackets M&M,
I get it.
and Mark was like, oh, let's introduce a character to sell more M&M merchandise. Matthew didn't like the idea, so Mark said, well, go and make your own chocolate Smarty Pants. And so his theory...
that's not
I think
true.
he's very much basing this on Rudolph and Adi Dazzler, the Puma and Adidas people.
We've also got a number of people telling us, for example, Andrew Clifford, saying the M&M shop, did you know it doesn't actually sell a normal packet of M&Ms? You've had a number of our
That's weird. Can I ask you a
readers telling
question
us that.
about
You
that?
can't actually buy the sweets there, Frank.
You can buy the sweets,
But
but
not
you
in a
can't
bag.
You can't buy them in there. What is a normal packet? Is it like...
Why are you so freaked out by M&Ms?
This show's gone weird.
Look,
There's no
if
two
you
ways
went-
about
Is it
it.
yellow packet, Al? Is it yellow packet M&M?
I don't know.
No,
I'm
but
not-
it's like a minstrel's packet. It's that
when
kind
you
of
say
thing.
that-
Minstrels haven't got a shop, have they?
No. Is it one of those that has got what can I call corrugation at both ends?
Yeah.
Okay.
Corrugation.
It's one of those. You can't get actually. It's all done on. They're like optics. And also, there's a person standing on the steps giving out free M&Ms.
Well, that was
No.
me. I was no joke.
Yeah.
That's smooth.
They
So you're
can't be.
giving out free ones, and then you're buying them, and then they had hooded tops with the M&Ms on.
Well, Frank,
Meanwhile,
Frank's eye.
Bertie Bassett sits in a bedsit somewhere in Oldham,
with his
thinking with his walking stick.
Giving out-
little licorice legs crossed.
Yeah,
paying-
well, actually, he's quite. I don't know if he could cross his legs.
Oh,
He's
is
got
he
a bit of a
chunky?
Will Carling thigh.
Oh,
Paying
heaven.
Leicester Square rent to give away their product for free. This is the worst business plan I've ever heard.
Speculate to accumulate.
They're doing well. I mean,
So if I walk from here after the show, pop in, have an M&M and think, oh, I enjoyed that free M&M, I'm then going to buy them every day for the rest of my life. Is that their plan?
You
Is that
said that, but
I know
Al-
this isn't Dragon's Den, but...
No, it's like you walk down the road this afternoon, a bloke comes up to you, Alan Cochrane, and you come up with a smart Alec one-liner reply. He laughs and thinks he's funny. I'm going to see him next time he's in town.
is that the equivalent of the free M&M?
Is that
what you and Alan do in the streets? With people?
Anyway, what about Mr.
What?
Mr. Planter?
Oh, what, the peanuts?
Yeah, the peanut man,
I
Mr.
remember him.
Planter.
Did he have a top hat?
Top, he
did, I think he did.
He had quite a good abdomen, actually, because he had, you know, the
abdomen.
mottling you get on the outer casing of a peanut.
Yeah.
He had that.
Oh,
did.
so that had gone
And
to make
it's
a...
not-
I love Mr. Planter. I always thought something might happen between us, but it wasn't to be.
It's not often you see that combination, a six-pack and a monocle.
No,
Almost unheard of.
except on Chris Eubank.
Frank
Skinner.
on Absolute Radio.
Absolute Radio.
We've had some correspondence in.
What, from Mr. Planter?
No, although we've had a lot of messages in about Mr. Planter,
Oh, yeah.
which I'll get to presently. But first, Matt, who says, Bertie's walking stick, just for show, too short to be effective.
It
and
is quite short.
well, he points out, he seems to have a good gait. Unlike you.
I can't remember if I've got a good gait or not. No, you're right. It is very short, Bertie's walking stick.
And also, isn't it made of licorice?
Everything about
Licorice. What are we saying? What's the verdict?
Matt's given us a picture of him, and I have to say, he does look, the stick is tiny.
Yeah.
Yeah, even if it was full
Looking
size,
back.
you wouldn't want to lean on that. It'd give, wouldn't it?
Well, I'd say it's more of a candy stick
Could it be...
Oh, that might be better.
than a walking
could
stick,
it
Frank.
be,
A black candy stick. Who
Could it
wants
be
that?
telescopic?
It's a black candy stick. It's a goth candy.
He's all right for a couple of 100 yards, but any further than that, he just until its full length, and then he's away.
Yeah.
You never see him hobbling with a stick, Bertie Bassett, because that's why they haven't got a shot. The stick.
He's
People
got a,
think they can't trust him
Right.
over a good distance.
he's got a very
I
thick
think you
set
do raise a
torso
very
as
good
well.
question.
I think that Bertie Bassett should come back with one of those crutches that clutch you at the forearm, with a grey plastic clutch at the forearm. You know, the benefit cheek crutch. If he should come back with one of those on. Sort of Bertie Bassett, open brackets, outpatient, close brackets. Do you ever think this show gets a little bit self-indulgent?
I think...
Yes.
No, I think you raise a very good... I mean, we talked about this during the songs as well. Why M&M's have a shop?
That is the big question.
That's
I'd love
your
to
big
know that.
question,
8,
isn't it?
12, 15. Why them and no other confectionery?
Yeah, it is true that.
My other texting is that what other confectionery-based character could carry off a superstore? Because Mr. Planter, I mean, God bless him.
Yeah, although a lot of people remember him very fondly, our readers.
Do they?
Yeah. I believe the Planters Peanuts mascot is simply Mr. Peanut.
Oh, he's called Mr. Peanut.
He does know how to work a monocle, though. Thanks for correcting us, Jennifer.
He's.
I dread to think what would have happened if we got that wrong.
I think he paved the way a bit for Brexit, Mr. Planter.
Yeah.
And he's sort of English aristocrat. I think they're
He was a
American.
bit Phileas Fogg as well, wasn't he? Phineas Fogg. 632 has a question for you, Frank.
Go on.
What does Frank think about the closure of BHS?
Well, that's. It's bad. Because
Okay.
think of all the people that work at BHS. That must be. That must be bad. What they needed was a Mr. BHS. It was a sort of colourful character in
Yes.
in acrylic fibre.
Yeah.
Who they could build it around.
Yeah.
If you were wearing a Mr. BHS cap, I don't think this would have happened.
Well, 431.
What say you?
I agree with Frank.
What about when we were in M&M's world?
Yeah.
No, I never thought I'd start an anecdote in that way either,
No, I
but
know.
there you go. And Frank started toying with the brown hoodie.
Well,
The
it was-
chocolate brown hoodie. And what he was doing, we call it in the fashion trade, we called it sleeve pullers.
Oh,
yes.
Because they've got no intention of buying, they're just having a little sleeve pull.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I did think it was a nice fabric for a shop based on chocolates,
Yeah.
and it had a lady M&M on it. I didn't even know there was such a thing. Sort of Emma and M.
Emma and M.
Did she have very exaggerated eyelashes? Because they're quite primitive, the confectionery industry, when indicating sex. It's normally the eyelash, isn't it?
Yeah, I didn't get that far. Hey. No, she was. Don't get me wrong. She was very attractive. I mean, I thought
Very
she.
attractive.
Yeah.
Sorry, can we just rewind now?
Well, she was.
I've
she
heard of
was
some
M&M.
obscure crushes. You have a go at me for Vince Cable. You fancy the M&M woman.
Yeah, well, she's basically an M&M, which sort of is quite right. As M&M, I think would hold up their hand when it came to their part in the national obesity crisis. Then, quite rightly, the M&M ladies circular.
But there's a lot of stairs in that shop for the larger figured, and
There
that's
is.
a struggle.
Oh,
Yeah, I can imagine.
what sizes were the hoodies? Yeah, they went in small and extra small.
Ow,
weren't they?
everything was XXL.
No, it
I'm not
wasn't.
lying. It was. That
It
cap, I
was.
couldn't get my head round it.
There was a lot of thin people in there trying to get into the optics. There was a section. I mean, I know we've gone on too much about it, but try
half
Capital, you'll
the
soon be
show.
back. And there was a vending machine things like tubes, big glass tubes, and there was 70 of them. It was absolutely. I mean, we discourage our child from having chocolate, but we just took him in there for the spectacle of it all.
Yeah.
It was like Ben-Hur, but with chocolate, if you can imagine such a thing. Anyway, I'm looking forward to there must be other sweets that have got characters that can carry this off.
This is
Frank Skinner, Absolute Radio.
We're going to leave M&M world and not discuss it
Yes,
for a
we've-
little
we've-
while.
we've
at least
ground
for a
people
little
into
while.
the
I
dirt.
think, it's,
Well, you say that. They're loving it. I mean,
they are enjoying it.
It's a
but I
slight
think we should-
obsession of mine.
Yeah.
I accept that.
Let's move away from the sweets. Let's
And
talk
thanks
about
for all
Bake
your
Off.
photographs of you in M&M world as well.
Oh, really?
We've had numerous. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
We need to talk cake next.
Okay.
There's one man, sorry Al,
about-
before we go, he just said, in my drunk days I walked for an hour to get a picture with this fella, and it's a picture of him with the blue plastic M&M.
Oh.
Yeah.
I don't remember having my photo took in there. But the whole experience was a blur. I was so...
Well, to be fair, you don't remember if you've got a gate.
No,
Yeah.
that's true.
Got selective amnesia. We were just tiptoeing towards discussing the Bake Off furore.
Everyone. Well, it is a furore.
It's a furore and a half, isn't it?
Yeah.
I don't know if they come in halves, but
Can you go out of the frying pan into the furore?
that's a good question.
Okay.
Oh.
8, 12, 15, if anyone knows.
That would be good for me.
It'd be good if Rory Bremner was involved in a big...
For Rory?
Then the headline would write itself.
Yeah. So, Channel 4 have splashed the cash and snatched Great British Bake Off from the British Broadcasting Corporation.
Yes.
As I like to call it.
It's quite a shocker.
It was a bit of time.
I was quite shocked.
As you know, I've never seen the Carbohydrate Show. And people
That's what
love
it should be called.
Yes, I'd call it that. Call it what it is. And people are sad. And, you know, it's hard when you haven't seen something. You know, like when a band split up, and you're like, why do they care that Take That split up, which you must have felt.
I had that with Nirvana. When
Did you?
Yeah. But I totally
I
get
had
it.
it with the Joe Loss Orchestra.
Did you?
Yeah.
Some good stuff there. I like a bit of Joe Loss.
Well, Joe Loss died was basically what happened.
Yeah.
Oh.
Some good stuff, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, God, he did. March of the Mods. Do-do-do-doon. Anyway.
This is why we go into weird areas.
Yes.
But I quite like it.
I'm not going
Anyway.
I haven't been into weird areas for years.
What about the Cave of Wonders?
Oh, yeah, that's...
You're in there on Saturday, I heard.
I did.
Anyway, the Carbohydrate Show is moving, and so I understand people are upset. So can you explain to me, having never seen it, is it because they feel it's very BBC and and it would ruin it going to Channel 4? Is this right?
Well,
I think so.
It's very BBC in that it looked like it could have happily sat as public entertainment in 1952. And there is a thing about the BBC where, I mean, I think Antiques Roadshow, Michael Portillo's Great Train Journeys, there's that sort of, it's like hot bath television.
You know, you basically just described my Sky Plus there.
Well, there you go. There you go.
Okay.
And apart from the fact that nobody's smoking, it's like 1952 England.
And people's teeth are a bit nicer.
Yeah, so people like that, it's very calm, and the music goes...
Right.
It's like that.
And nothing bad happens.
Nothing.
Oh, nothing bad.
Oh, there was
happens.
tears on it the other week, to be fair. Because Paul Hollywood can actually be quite...
So it's quite Daily
mean.
Mail paradise, if we're going to be honest.
Well, if you'd like to know more about Bake Off, I'm currently talking to Anton de Beek about it on BBC iPlayer.
Now, did he choose that before the Furore?
He did. It's a slight problem that he chose it not knowing it was going to... But it's still a BBC programme for a while.
Well, it'll make me want to watch it even more.
Well, they got an extra 500,000 viewers the other night as a result of this news story, which is a bit ironic, as Alanis would say if she was here.
She would.
She didn't really understand what it meant.
She had a lovely mouth, I always thought, Alanis Morissette. Cheeky mouth, Alanis Morissette. If I was a journalist, that's how I'd start the...
That is not a good description of her.
I would describe her as having a permanent cob on.
Yeah.
She was furious.
Miserable indie chick, Alanis Morissette.
Oh, no, I don't think of Alanis like that. What's that film when she plays an angel at the end?
You've got her in the wrong category, I think.
Oh, yeah, she's furious.
Yeah,
going on about the movie theatre and the dinner party and all sorts going on.
I think if she spelled her name Alunis, Alan would probably like her a bit better. That's I think we've got to the source of the gripe.
This is
Frank Skinner, Absolute Radio.
So we're talking about the Carbohydrate Show.
Yes.
Yeah, which you'd be surprised to hear that I'm actually a fan of. I think it's an easy show to like, and I don't even like
Cake.
I think Cake's fine, but I prefer.
Good late review.
But you know, if you had to choose for the rest of your life, pudding or main course, I'd definitely be main course.
I just want to be buying cake in, say, 6 months' time, and it says, fine, Absolute Radio on the side.
Yeah.
The cockerel.
Oh, imagine that across a Battenberg.
Yeah.
You see, I wish I should like it because I'm a big fan of Mel and Sue's. I think they seem like very nice ladies.
What about Hollywood and Berry?
Oh, well, I don't know much about those people.
Well,
No, that's where I'm meeting Mel and Sue after, on the corner of Hollywood and Berry.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah.
I do wonder if Mary Berry is a fine example of nominative determinism that we talked about. You know,
because her name...
Her surname's Berry and she works in puddings.
Well, never mind that. What about James Martin? We know about him. He only dates people with a food-based name. Barbara Broccoli. he went
is
out
that
with,
right?
and Claire Goose.
And he's dating Kevin Bacon now.
No,
That's who
no,
he's
his
going out
girlfriend
with,
has got a
please.
food-based surname, though. Give me a
Really?
moment, I'll have to Google that, because I won't know it. But do you think... So Mel and Sue, they're not going, they've said.
They're
You
not
know,
going
the
to Channel 4.
vegetarians worried that Goose is dismissed as a foodstuff
It is.
on the show.
Goose is food, it's game.
It is. Yeah.
I know, but it is also a living creature.
So is chicken.
So's bacon.
Chicken isn't, but Goose
Why are you picking on Goose?
because they've got the guard dog.
Hang on, how did we get you from
they've got
Bake Off?
their night.
But I
They've
want to
got
know why...
night work of guard dog, whereas chickens they have no other employment.
It's because
Other
he's not
than,
familiar with game,
Oh, right.
and
yeah,
it feels alien to him. But it is
I get
eaten regularly,
It
darling.
is, yeah.
Absolute Radio.
Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio.
Paul Hollywood, I tell you, are you familiar with him, even if you haven't seen the show?
Oh yeah, grey beard, left his wife, now come back.
Well, you say grey, but
That's
it's
in a
something.
synopsis. That is as good as
Isn't
you
that
could
all
do.
middle-aged men, really?
I'll tell you what he looks. He's got. Do you remember when you used to go to discos and there's a certain light that makes people's hair go like shine,
Oh,
and
yeah,
their
the
teeth,
UV
their
light.
teeth,
Yeah, yeah.
that UV light. He looks like he's constantly. I wonder if he wears an umbrella hat with a UV light.
That
in it.
is.
Well,
That is him.
They
Yeah.
get their...
He's constantly got this sort of white glowing.
He's got a glow about
You
him.
know what that is? They get a bit famous, they start fixing it up a bit, don't they?
Yeah.
Well, I don't.
He's had the teeth done
but he
because
hasn't
he's
had
got
his-
famous.
He hasn't had his hair whitened.
Well, but he will have had
What
some
are you doing with
process on
teeth?
it.
Can you? I think. I mean, it's still a big show. If I had my own business, I would. What I would do is I would bring out.
Oh, sometimes I thank God that you don't.
I would bring out a Paul Hollywood's head fibre optic lamp,
That would be good.
so
Oh,
that
yeah.
you could have the hair with the light coming out, and it would at night. You'd be glad of that.
That would be
A
good.
bit creepy though.
Yeah.
my- you know
he's
my problem
actually
with
all
him?
right. I met him once.
Well,
No, I'm not saying he's not all right. I'm just saying
You're
the
not
fibre
sure.
anyone in a fibre optic lamp is creepy.
I don't know if you should have that much aftershave close to food.
I think I have a problem with him, and I think he's probably really good.
Go
and he's
on, why?
definitely like he's been credited as he's a good baker, isn't he? That's why he's a judge on it. But he smashes their food, doesn't he? Like when they've sort of spent 3 hours creating a tower of gingerbread, and he, with a slight look of glee in his eye, he picks up a big spoon and he rams it, like he properly smashes it up in
Yes.
quite a brutish way. Like he could be a bit more delicate and just carve a little
Well,
corner.
as I
and go,
point
"Oh,
out
that's
in my
lovely."
conversation with Anton de Beek,
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
if Mary Berry is something of the Bond villain, and he's the henchman
Right.
Yes.
So he's,
at a
he's the muscle
slightly
there to
wrinkly
be
elbow.
brutal.
Yeah,
Right.
So
Yes.
he's like that.
Right.
So she can be cutting, but in a very sort of that sinister stroking the cat kind of way.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas he's bang, bang, bang.
Yeah, he is definitely brutish with their bakes.
But it's I have to say I've seen it a few times. It definitely works, doesn't it?
Yes.
But
will
that's
it work?
not-
if
it
You
might
know what
work.
my
smashes-
favourite piece of coverage in this entire saga was?
Go on.
Tell.
A piece in the Metro saying the company claimed that the move was not about money, but in Mel and Sue's statement they concluded that they would not go with the dough. A reference to the bread often baked on the show, and a slang term for money.
Oh wow!
Thanks for that, Metro.
Blimey.
I mean, who's their demographic
Next
that they
week
need
on-
that explained to
Next
them?
week on How to Get Jokes, we'll be doing Knock Knock.
I have to say the
Slang
thing.
term for money. I mean, we're not total cretins.
But if you knew someone who say they worked on the checkout desk at Asda,
Yeah.
and then they found out if they worked on the checkout desk at Waitrose, they get more money, and they said they went there, you wouldn't call them greedy, would you?
No.
No.
Whereas if a TV person or company does it,
Yeah.
is that weird?
Well, why? I don't know why people have suddenly expected them to be all sort of church-like figures. I mean, they are making money, these people.
But it's-
They're ruthless, ambitious characters. That's their good
Well,
luck to
if
them.
you're doing it, they're just trying to make money. Does that make them
But
ruthless?
that's the industry they're in, and there's nothing wrong with that.
It's almost like Frank's been on the other side of this story, isn't it?
It's almost like Frank wants the gig.
It's almost like
It's almost like Frank is touting for business,
it's
baby.
almost like I'm somebody bracing myself for the publication of my BBC earnings. No, but when you get lottery winners, right?
Yeah.
Who've won it by complete chance, they've bought a lottery ticket. That's all they've done from that not very nice shop.
What with the
win
little
it.
pens?
And then you see them on the telly. They've won 8 million, whatever they've won.
Yeah.
And they are opening champagne, doing a little dance of glee and talking about what they're going to spend it on. If I called a press opportunity in which I opened champagne and did a little dance celebrating the money I've earned over the last 25 years, I'd be despised for it. And I've worked for mine. They got theirs for nothing. Is that fair? 8, 12, 15.
Absolute Radio.
Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio.
This is Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio with Emily Dean and Alan Cochrane. You can text the show on 8 12 15, follow the show on Twitter at Frank on the Radio, email the show via the Absolute Radio website, and the producer is getting too close to me for a professional environment, in my opinion.
Okay, you're just trying to make that public.
Yeah.
I am, because
your
let's
defence
get
case.
it,
I was going to say that's
there.
been recorded now.
Yes.
We
If it was the other way around, you'd all be horrified.
I ate some
Get
cake
off.
during that last link. Can
Are
I
you
just
done?
say?
You had some cake?
I had some cake and I enjoyed it. Not that I'm looking for a
I
job.
don't like that Katy Perry song.
Not that I'm looking for a job reviewing cake or anything, but
No.
enjoyed
You
it.
two would be good on that.
I'm available. Speak
You'd
to
be
my people.
lovely carbohydrate show presenters.
It's.
I sadly would have to decline.
I'd be a very bad
On account of
contestant
my
on it.
principles.
I think the contestants do well on Bake Off if they have highly expressive faces. That's what they really want, is like somebody that looks sad when they're sad and happy when they're happy. Whereas I don't think I have a very expressive face. I think like it'd be like, oh, Alan's won the technical challenge and he looks exactly the same as he did when his
Is there a
gingerbread tower
technical
fell
challenge?
on. No.
Can I
Yeah.
ask? I'm not familiar with the basic mechanic of the show, which I assume is, do they have to bake the cake in real time?
Well, that's a good question, because they often say, oh, come on, because you haven't got long. It's absolutely against the clock. Oh, no, it's
Yeah.
going to be difficult to get this done in time. And they all say, what I'm worried about is the time. And then one of them really messes it up and they just start again. And then it's all right.
Oh, you see,
Well,
I don't like that.
No, I think that's if they've got enough time. But still, some people put it out and
Sometimes
it's
they
not
make
finished.
like 3 cakes.
Yeah. Well, I think
In addition,
Look, it's a good. It's a good show.
people that can bake can do that though. They can just whip up some more. I can't bake.
Oh,
so-
people who can bake.
yeah, exactly,
Since when was that a good thing?
exactly. Anyhow,
We're all different.
we need to talk about school uniforms as well.
Of
You know,
course,
there's
the,
been a-
the competitors will be naked on it when it goes to Channel 4.
oh, that'll be all right.
oh, they will. Well, that,
Yeah.
yeah, they will.
Well,
Although you don't want to do any cooking with, no.
you're all
Well, then
right.
you
as,
just
as
do
long as
that,
you, as long
Al.
as you don't shut the oven door too quickly.
Baking's fine, but
Oh
frying is
my
not.
God.
No.
Frying is not.
Can I just say something before I know you were going to move
Sure.
on to something? However, we were talking about our trip to M&M's World, which Frank and I went to last week.
Yes.
And Frank was suggesting that perhaps there must be other confectionery
Maybe
where...
you could start one called Auntie M's World.
Oh, my word. That
But
would be
I
great.
don't know what they
That
was.
sounds.
Well, it would be Auntie M from Wizard of Oz themed. Who is a character, I believe.
Yeah. I'm married to Uncle Henry.
With some sartorial differences to me, it has to be said.
Well,
but
she liked
nevertheless-
gingham. They all did in that family.
Oh, that's true, yeah. Now then, we've had someone, 701 to be precise, saying, what about the Milky Bar Kid?
Oh.
Setting up a themed... he says confectionery genius could have his own white chocolate paradise.
Wow.
Brian.
I wonder if the Milky Bar Kid's bird has flown.
Maybe.
He doesn't even do adverts anymore, does he?
I don't think so.
He just-
Suggesting
when I
he's a
was
bit
a
last year.
Well, when he was a kid, when I was a kid, he was big, the Milky Bar Kid.
Yeah.
But he committed to the Wild West outfit.
Yes.
That was his thing. And kids don't really wear those anymore.
No.
It's one less avenue out of poverty for the cute blonde boy at school, isn't it?
Well,
Yeah.
also, Al, do you remember...
Well, he wore spectacles. So
Yeah.
He was
And
ahead of
there's-
his time in that.
There'd often be a story, in the Express perhaps, of search for the new Milky Bar Kid.
Yeah.
And the
Yeah.
the auditionees lining up.
And his catchphrase, remember his catchphrase?
Milky Bars are on me.
Yeah.
Not something Al ever said.
Sometimes the Native American, there's one when the Native American said, "You milky bars are." Can I not even quote?
No.
Come on.
Well, I'm fine with it, but
Well, I'm not.
they're not.
I don't think their essential nobility was in any way reduced by that.
You don't?
No.
Fair enough.
Okay.
Easy
It's
for
a
you to say.
minefield.
They
It's a
might say.
minefield, isn't it? It's I travel now with my lawyer everywhere. I was glad when he was here when I was being leaned over.
Useful, isn't it?
What about the school uniform?
The school uniforms
kerfuffle?
have been everywhere. Cause
That was another big one, wasn't it?
been another kerfuffle. It's spread. Last week it was down south. This week it's up north. It's in
is it?
Liverpool. Yeah, there's been.
They've only been back 2 weeks and
back
already.
2 weeks, and
Yeah.
there's been 2 weeks of headmaster says you can't come in. I worry about this as a development because I think it's going to play into the hands of bad kids that go, "Oh, what's that? I'm not allowed in school because my shoes are suede."
I know.
All right, fine. See ya.
Exactly.
I tried.
It's
Like, school
what are they
uniform
moaning about?
is the new snow. I mean,
Oh yeah,
it's the best thing. Snow day. Hello.
Yeah, brilliant.
Everyone loves a snow day.
We never
Pipes
got-
are frozen. See ya.
Can I say that at no point in my childhood was I sent home on a snow day. We just carried
Really?
on in the
It
snow.
happens a lot in the North London school system. You're going to be getting...
Well, we don't get snow in London anymore. What with the globals? It's all changed.
But
But you're right, though. If I'd have been at the school... This is based on the story. It's in Margate, isn't it, where the headmaster...
Yes.
I think it started there.
Tate.
Wasn't there
Matthew
one in
Tate.
That's
Kent?
right, there
Oh,
was
yeah,
a-
Kent. That
Margate is in
that
Kent, darling.
Yeah. Well, I don't know
Dubbed,
these places.
Dubbed somewhat questionably by the Daily Mail as Gestapo-like headmaster, wasn't
Yeah,
he?
which is
Yes.
wrong because I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, the Gestapo wore plain clothes most of the time.
Yeah, they were dressed down Friday.
The
weren't they?
SS,
Yeah.
they were big on uniform.
yeah.
They were strict. In
Yes.
every aspect, but on uniform. You couldn't, for example, wear a dark grey shirt in the SS.
No, they were
No,
very strict
they
about
didn't
this.
like improvising of any kind.
He sent home 60 kids, this head teacher.
Did he?
Yeah.
Did you see some of the videos?
God, I tell you, the
I did.
local shopkeepers must have lost a bit of stock that day. Imagine all that extra shoplifting time.
Some were sent home for wearing black trainers.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's discrimination against Mick Jagger and other elderly pop stars. What would they do without the platform black trainer?
You're quite right.
They'd have no
point.
footwear. They'd be like Stig of the Dump. They depend on those trainers.
No, you're right. I mean, I don't like it. I think they were, black trainers was all... I know they couldn't wear black trainers, could they?
No, they're not
and someone
allowed.
had a buckled shoe. They got sent home.
Yeah, a little
Well,
bit
yeah.
of metal on there. Yeah.
They
And
don't
some-
like the Puritan shoe either. No Puritans, no ageing rock star footwear.
I mean, well, anyway, we'll come to this in a
No
moment.
tassels, Frank.
Calm down. Sorry. I thought you... Sorry, did you just show me a new brassiere when she said that?
Frank
Skinner.
on Absolute Radio.
Absolute Radio.
Point is, these children were sent home.
Yeah, and one dad took it very badly. He said, it's these shoes or no school. Which I mean, people are going to use that sentence to make him look stubborn and foolish, and his
Well,
daughter
it's a legal obligation as well, I think, school.
Yeah.
Al, did you see the bit on the... someone filmed it with the camera phones.
Oh,
you know,
yeah,
this
they
is the
do a
thing, and it
lot
all
of
went a bit Roger Kirk.
Yeah.
And one of the dads was so angry with the headmaster. He lost his cool. He lost it. He said, "Are you for real? Are you for real?" And
Same guy.
And the head teacher went, "Yes, I am for real."
Yeah, he's a philosopher, the head teacher.
He went a bit... Yeah.
No, it's not. It's that moment when you realise that the kids that you knew are now parents.
yeah.
Right.
But it's not really parent language, is it?
What, are you for real?
Yeah.
No.
Am I right?
No,
No.
it's not. You see, he's been hanging out with the kids. That's the thing. Now, tassels.
Yes.
Braziers. Sorry, is this a word
Apparently-
association?
No, not elements of my wardrobe today, but on the shoe. And that's another thing. He was very hard on tassels. He just said, no, you can't have tassels. Sent home for tassels on the loafers.
Do you think
Which I
maybe
think's a
he
bit
was-
harsh.
Do you think maybe the teacher was an ex-rocker and he just hates mods, like mods and rockers? It's like you can't be wearing penny loafers in my school.
Well, there was...
You banned the cardie? No cardies?
Once, this dates it slightly, but I was once told off by a teacher for wearing winkle pickers.
Good for you. Good for you.
And there used to be a bloke at my mate's school, I remember, and he went to school in a Harrington jacket. Do you remember those Harrington jackets?
Oh, I love a Harrington.
Worn by the skinheads, but continued with the suede heads, retain them
Skinhead
as their
escapes.
summer wear. And one of them turned up in, instead of his blazer, he had a black Harrington on, the tartan
lining. Nice.
And he grabbed the sleeve of it and said, the headmaster said, what's this anorak? Which is always seen as a great symbol of the generation gap.
I love anorak.
In our area.
You probably referred to it as a fashion item.
Although I tell you,
what do you think about the
I'm
head?
slightly with the headmaster on this.
Are you?
Okay, tell us why, because I'm sort of...
Gestapo like Frank Skinner.
No, Al, I could be persuaded.
Gestapo.
Al, I'm guessing you're not.
I think there is a weird life lesson in this, which is that adults are sometimes wrong as well. I think the kids can go, oh, he's not letting me be educated because I've got a brown line around the sole of my shoe that my dad bought the wrong shoes. Like, that shouldn't hold up his education. We should be able to move into space around the problem. But
is he just making a point and saying these are the rules and these generation people?
I love rules, but
I don't know if you love them enough. By the sounds of it,
this is not what my wife and my children would say.
Trying to get the centennials, yes, that's the new generation.
Oh, is it?
To start having some respect for authority, perhaps.
Just follow the rules. That's not difficult.
Because they don't. Come on, they are a bit I know my rights. I love them.
You start wearing tassels for school, next thing you're setting fire to pensioners in their own homes.
You reckon?
Yeah, I think
that's... skip and a jump, isn't it?
I think it's a well-trodden path. 8-12-15 for from the police listening, they can back this up with some statistics.
This is
Frank Skinner, Absolute Radio.
People are excited about this school uniform debate.
Yeah.
Oh, that was my chair squeaking there. 708, for example. My headmaster used to say suede shoes lead directly to drug abuse.
But I know what he means.
Okay.
Because we were just talking to our assistant producer, Sarah, who said, yeah, well, when I was at school, and you can just hear it. You can see the folded arms at school.
Yeah.
And the open defiance.
Mm-hmm. Well, she was objecting to having to do the top button up on the shirt.
Oh, I feel conflicted because
just do what you're told.
I'm pro-education, and I don't like the idea that the headmaster is sending the children away. I like Teddy Roosevelt's thought of do what you can with what you have where you are. So I like the idea of the headmaster saying, well, you're not in the right uniform, but get in and let's do some learning and come in the right uniform tomorrow.
But they won't. Will they come in the right uniform? The trouble with these centennials...
Will they do any learning?
Then there'll be I know my rights.
But I'm also a bit conflicted because I do think there might be a little bit of a problem. The school blazer, I think, might be contributing to the pandemic, I'll say, of badly dressed adults. Like,
what do you mean?
Look around. You look at the high street during a weekday, and there's a lot of men in terrible fitting suits, and I think it's the school blazers to blame. We're teaching them. It's getting entrenched that, hey, any blazer will do. Just put a jacket on, and that's it. Job done.
No, it's because they're all going to Fitness First and getting overexcited. And they're getting the Daniel Craig bodyguard close protection syndrome in the suit. You can't work out or wear suits. Your choice.
I just say, if you got a uniform, just get the uniform. Okay? It's the uniform. It's not like a serving suggestion. Do you know what I mean? It's not like you can use this as a basis for what you wear. Just wear the uniform, then you're all the same. You've got a beautiful symbol of equality. You want to be treated the same, dress the same. Good night.
In fairness...
I even get angry, sorry, but I went to school disco, right? You know that club, school disco?
Yeah. Yes, I know it, but I'm horrified that you went there. Why did you go there?
I hired a
you want to broadcast that you went there?
I hired that 3/4 length grey socks. I had the blaze, I had the grey jumper. There were people, they think, if you wear a white shirt and a stripy tie, that's it, you're okay done. To go to school uniform. Yeah. Even in a nightclub context, they can't make the effort.
I'm still reeling that you were at that school disco. How was it? Cinderella Rockefeller?
I was going out with a much younger woman at the time, and there's no fool like an old fool. I'm sorry.
Stay classy, everyone.
But I still dress correctly. Don't go to school disco if you just want to wear a white shirt.
We've also had a very enjoyable Whatever Happened To. You know, you have
hold this,
running
because
text.
He's got music for this.
There's a break. No, there's a break coming now. I don't like to rush. I always look forward to these. Whatever Happened To.
I hope you like it. I'm quite nervous.
This is
Frank Skinner, Absolute Radio.
665 says, since when does shoes and feet prevent you from learning? Surely sending kids home does teach it, as opposed to teach kids they're not fashion icons.
No, what happens is a general sense of order and discipline aids learning.
Yes.
And the physical manifestation of that is the adherence to a regular uniform, which makes everyone equal.
Well, I'm not sure I agree with this, though, 431. Some of my mates' best going-out clothes are white shirt, black trousers, just like at school. Simon Cowell. And they are 40 plus. School has taught them fashion doesn't matter.
I think life might have taught them that.
Yeah, I'll soon set them straight.
Here we go. 390 Frank has texted in, whatever happened to...
wait, I got the music out.
I have to see if it deserves them.
Oh, yeah, sorry. OK, Al.
Whatever happened to strong men who ripped telephone books in half?
Yeah. You know what's happened, eh?
That was good.
It's because everyone's got their numbers in their smartphones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't rip a smartphone in half.
No,
is that what it is? They loved a phone book, didn't they?
They loved ripping a phone book in half. An incredible display of grip strength, that. I
thought he'd have the technical term.
Oh, he's gone into
the technical term, grip strength.
He's got into what I call a grappling reverie.
Oh,
see, I think
strong.
I consider a time when I would have managed the Metropolitan Borough of Sandwell Yellow Pages.
Oh, yeah.
But, I mean, a phone book. What is there a sort of a... I mean, I don't even know if they have phone books anymore, do they?
I think they're probably still available, aren't they?
You never see them.
Some people probably
You don't see them in
them.
phone boxes like you used to.
You know the thing that strong men do now? What? Apparently, they blow up a hot water bottle like a balloon.
Oh, that's an old one. I've seen that one.
Oh, is that quite...
I've seen that done many a time and oft.
Right.
But I
watched someone do that on YouTube in a strange fusion of modern and ancient the other day.
but there must be an equivalent paperback, thick book that they could tear in half.
The Bible?
What about one of the Harry Potters?
Sorry, Frank, I didn't mean to be disrespectful.
Bible or a Harry Potter.
I just suggested it because it's big.
I know, but if there's something about ripping the Bible in half.
I know, I'm not disrespecting your area.
No, I understand that. Of course. Of course. No, but if you one of the fatter Harry Potters. The trouble is they don't have the format. You can't get a good proper.
No, it's not wide enough, is it? Really?
Yeah, you need one of those Jilly Coopers.
What about this?
Riders.
I'll see. I'm going to let that in as a very good whatever happened to.
Really?
And I'm going to come back with a whatever happened. Whatever happened to the purple rinse?
Oh, that is good, Frank.
In case you're a young person, if there's any of them still listening, they haven't got all touchy about the fact that they like to wear their shirts not tucked in. Older women, I think what they used to call women of a certain age, whatever that means, used to have their hair, and I don't mean with a slight, tiny hint of purple. I mean purple.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I'm not talking about your punk rockers. I'm talking about, like, older women in the West Midlands.
Purple, yeah.
Really purple hair. Mm-hmm. And it was called a purple rinse, and it's very popular. I'd like to be... I think it's something, you dye sort of grey hair.
Yeah.
And that's what happens. It goes...
it was an acknowledgement that they were older, but they were saying, I've still got it.
And also the old women, they love a bit of lavender. Generally speaking.
They do.
I'm thinking now that I have become grey myself, maybe I could be the first man to get a purple rinse.
And a lavender scent.
Well, you say first man. I mean, I think, didn't Liberace have one?
I don't think... actually, Quentin Crisp might have had one.
Yes.
Yeah. That's not something you can get at Krispy Kreme. It was a man. It was a person.
Frank, there's another
Sorry.
whatever happened to.
Oh, let's save it.
Okay.
Absolute Radio.
Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio.
We were swinging to that.
You had a lovely dance.
I did.
We've had a dance.
Swing
We've
indoors.
we've also been informed during that.
Speak for
song.
yourself.
Well, I'll pass it on. Nancy has got in touch. Now, a while ago, I got really excited when people started texting in with re. I just think it's good
Is
information.
it re colon?
Re purple hair.
I know, but
yes.
is there a colon between re and
Well,
purple
that's only
hair?
on the email, isn't
No,
it?
it's
You
just
need the re.
It's just a text message.
That sounds like a medical question. Is there a colon between re and purple hair?
Yes. Re purple hair. It was because grey hair can go. It says hello, but I think that's a autocorrect.
Oh.
Grey hair can go
maybe
yellow.
She thought you might have lost attention by this bit. Right, okay, hello?
Re
Oh,
purple
that's a
hair is
good
because
point.
grey hair can go yellow or brassy, and lilac being opposite on the colour wheel corrects it and,
Yes.
looks nicer.
Well,
But it doesn't correct it if it makes the hair go
No,
purple.
but
Can
I
I
think that's
just
why they're
say-
trying it.
have you seen some of the youths, the hipsters in the East London areas wandering around? That's now very fashionable again, the lilac hair.
Is
It's
it?
back in
Lilac
vogue. Would
hair.
you agree, millennials? Thank you.
Lilac hair was all like my love.
Frank,
And we've also...
Alan,
Oh, okay, go on. Yes?
whatever happened to chalk outlines at crime scenes? That's from Dave Mutton.
Now, I think...
So yours takes issue with the ones I do.
I know, I
Yours
think...
goes
We've never
straight
sent
through.
it in.
It's not personal. I
Just a messenger here. Don't take it personally.
Yours goes straight through. I'm just
think
saying.
we've discussed
Just a
this.
messenger.
I think we've discussed this before as to whether they actually ever happened or if it's only in...
American
Police
drama
procedural.
shows.
Yes, but perhaps he's saying they don't occur anymore in police procedural dramas.
Maybe.
So, you see? You're like the fast track. You're whatever happened
Oh,
to
just-
our business fast track, and I'm in that long queue
Okay,
with the other
okay.
Brexiteers.
I just want you to know neither of us thought of these. They were sent in.
I didn't think you'd personally
Take it so
champion them.
personally.
I know
It's
you're right. I'm
like-
feeling sensitive
It's
today.
like judges' houses.
I'm sensitive. It's just, you know.
Hey, we've got an answer. 503 has texted. I had a phone book delivered last week. They're now half the size.
Oh, well.
So there would be a less of a strength show-offy thing.
Yeah, exactly. Everything has to be democratised so everyone can... Because it's a bit, it's
They
not
need to
quite
make
fair
them-
if ordinary people can't rip them in half.
Is it like the Thompson Local with the... He's a funny
Yeah.
character, the cat.
That was a cat. Could they have a shop? The Thompson Local Superstore.
What would
with the
you
Thompson
sell in it? People's addresses.
That could be... I can think of people's addresses I'd pay money for.
Yeah.
I was just send dog excrement, as you all say, through the post. People have criticised you.
Yeah, I've known my mother walk 3 miles in cold weather to put dog excrement through a strange man's letterbox.
Oh, one of Frank's best.
Love the story.
I love his Hovis stories. Gather round the fireside whilst I tell you about the dog excrement my mother used to collect.
There isn't enough of that anymore. What Britain used to be.
And
Yeah.
638 has texted, do you think once the vilification of sugar is complete, we'll look back in 10 years on sugar pusher Mary Berry in a very different way?
Yeah, and Mr. Eminem.
And Mr. Eminem, it's been quite a sugary show, this.
He'll be in trouble, Mr.
I know I was a
Eminem.
bit needy earlier, but don't be biased by that. Don't
Okay.
really have to include this, but whatever happened to dandruff? Oh no, he's not going to let
I
it
think
through.
this happened a few weeks ago, didn't
Did
it?
it?
I think
Someone
dandruff's
said,
still going.
okay, no,
I think dandruff. You know when we was talking about the ultraviolet? What were those lights
UV
called? They were great for dandruff. Yeah.
Well, someone says, okay, you maybe see older people with it. This is 160. But I don't think anyone under the age of 55 has dandruff anymore. That's Gordon from St Albans.
Do older people have purple dandruff? Purple Dandruff. I love their first album.
Good stuff.
It's really good.
Absolute Radio.
Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio.
Okay.
Excellent joke from Ian Angle. Emily, your suggestion is head and shoulders above the others. I think that's the head and
Thank you.
shoulders. Very good. The dandruff, rather.
Yeah.
I believe we were going to take a rare foray into email corner, which we've not been for yonks.
No, I don't know what's happened to email corner. It's not oft visited.
Well, it's because the mode is very... I mean, I'm downloading Boomerang now and all sorts.
It's going to end
Time
up...
for
Downloading
email.
Boomerang.
It's going to be like BHS.
What's happened?
Boomerang's
People don't
great.
go there. Oh,
By gun, mail corner. Dear Frank, Emily and Alan, I recently forgot to take my bag for life to the shops with me, often the way, and obviously when asked the question, would you like a bag, I opted to save 5 pence and stash as much of it as I could in my small handbag and under my arms. As I stood at the till, I quickly put beef burgers, cucumber, crisps and some biscuits into the handbag, and grasping my bottle of wine with one hand, I finished off the bagless look by wedging my paper under my arm. As I turned to leave the store, I noticed another bagless lady with many more items than I. She had cleverly used the old crisp bag under the chin move to avoid the 5 pence fee. I wondered if you or your other listeners had any other clever tips to maximise the amount of items you can buy while still refusing to pay the 5 pence charge. Praise withheld. Hathers 74.
Oh, respect.
Yeah, respect
do you
Amundo.
remember...
As Frank would say.
Do you remember when I had a dream that I was wearing a coat and all the things that I'd normally have in my pockets
Yes.
were duct taped
I
to
do remember
I
that.
do, yeah.
Isn't the secret to save on the bag is to just always have a roll of duct tape in your...
I always
In
buy
your
one.
pocket.
I buy one every time I go, like some people do
I
chewing
don't want
gum.
people seeing... Well, I'm very secretive about my purchases. I'm not going to
I
parade
like
them.
the idea of leaving there with them all just stuck on the outside of it. And also it'd be a good dietary thing, because when you stick all the foodstuffs on, it gives you a sense of, added bulk. You might think twice.
Yeah,
I
think
like
that
the
could be
beef burgers
brilliant.
in the handbag, though.
very good.
I mean, that's a poignant sight.
I mean, I can juggle, but I've never realised that it could save me 5 pence a time when I go to the shop. Like, I could do 5. I could go and buy 5 things and juggle my way out of...
I like the idea of an open display case, like
Yeah,
like when you're getting money on a quiz show,
yeah.
and it's in there
Oh,
also.
but yeah, on Bullseye,
Yeah,
the tankard of cash.
maybe the flared sleeve could come back. The old caftan
The wizard
flared
sleeve, I love
yeah.
that.
Oh, nice. Yeah, don't mind
Cat's
that at all.
cradle.
Yeah.
I don't know what that would hold, a cat's cradle. Although I
I
went
don't know,
to...
ask Thompson Local. He's there for all
I was
things
in a posh
cat.
hotel recently, and one thing you tend not to get in posh hotels is child-sized cutlery.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, is that right?
In fact, generally, it's hard to get your hands on child-sized cutlery. So I keep a couple
Ironically.
of... I keep a mini forks and spoon in the top pocket.
Yeah.
Well,
And I see them look at me a bit, where'd you get that from? Like you're stealing.
well, you sort of are.
No, I'm on about when I take with
She's
Oh, when
me.
you take it in. Well, I always announce it when I go and I say, excuse me, I have a Coke Zero in my handbag because I bought that from the newsagent
That's a
beforehand.
terrible thing when you buy a magazine and then you think, I need to nip into here, and they sell magazines, and you
Yeah.
have to say, I've bought this from the... I didn't get a receipt
Well, it
for
suggests,
the Daily Express.
it suggests
enough.
you've got previous, if you
Does
feel
it?
the need to do that. Adele has tweeted us.
Adele's tweeted us.
She says hello.
Lovely. Very good.
I use the bags for fruit and veg to pack shopping. They're actually very spacious. Now, she's referring to the little
Oh, I
plastic
know the ones,
the
yeah, those
opaque
ones.
plastic ones.
What
they're all
a
plastic,
clever
but you know.
Crucially,
idea.
the free ones.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know those
Oh,
ones with the
that's a saving.
perforations, Frank? You rip them off?
With fruit and vegetables, I just take a length of wool with a needle at one end and I thread them.
Oh, that's good.
When she says they're spacious, I
They're
mean, you're
not
not
that
going to get
spacious.
a box of shredded wheat in there.
No, I wouldn't say they were spacious. But this is the way we can continue. We can destroy the bag for life industry.
OJ
if we come up
Borg's
with the
here,
right
Frank.
idea. Respect to Mondo, I'm about to trail him. Here we go. I don't mean I'm going to follow him
The
round.
girls are all doing their
I'm
makeup,
actually
and
going,
the boys.
I'm going to the cricket at Lord's.
Ooh, get you.
And guess what? I'm in the president's box. How's about that then? Can you still say? You can't say that now. Oh dear. It's
Which
okay.
president?
So the
People
president
trying
of
not
the
to make
MCC.
jokes.
Oh, I thought it was like Robert Mugabe or something.
No, no. He doesn't like the one-day game. He's very much a
draw now.
Always ends our show with a Robert McCarthy anecdote.
He's a purist. He likes the 5-day game. Yeah, he's a strange chap in many ways. Big Bob. Anyway, if the good Lord spares us and the creeks don't rise, we'll be back again this time next week. Now get out.
The Frank Skinner Show on Absolute Radio. Back Saturday morning from 8. Tune in live for the full Frank experience.
Absolute Radio.